What's up? Eric here. Facebook.com/Eric the Conqueror or YouTube.com/user/The Sandman047. Uh, Anyways, it's a gorgeous night out once again. It's just I think it's roughly, me and my friends were talking about it earlier. It's actually, a full moon is only one night, but like most of the effects of the full moon can be felt uh, for 3 nights. It's not quite as intense as it was yesterday, but it's still pretty good. It's still pretty crazy, and yeah, I just checked the time. Actually, it's actually 1:30 on Thursday, August 22, 1:30 a.m. for the record. This is a late night walk. Uh, Yesterday, yesterday was the day of the full moon, so I guess it does count. So, yeah, yesterday, I guess, the 21st, August 21st was uh, a, I want to say it's a holiday, but it's not a holiday. It's more of a festival. A festival. That's what it is. It's a festival. It's called Rakhi, and that's Rakhi. And what it is uh, the female members of your family, like sisters and cousins, and well, they're pretty much sisters. Right? It doesn't have to be immediate family either. If it's not totally unheard of for really good friends who are girls. And either way, what the girl does is she ties this bracelet on you. I'll show you in a second. And in exchange, you give her some money. And during the whole ritual, well, I say whole ritual, but during the ritual, I don't know if the lighting's too good, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 there. No, there's only 5. My bad. Yeah. I have 5 rakniya, and anyways, that's as far as there's a lot of things I have to say on this, and well, not a lot, but I have a fair bit of content to discuss about that. My ideas are, I don't know, I have some ideas about it, and one of the ideas is that it's an old ritual, and it's obviously because back in the day, this is my take on it. I think to me, I think it is in Indian culture, and I mean, I'm of Punjabi descent, and we're Jatt, and we love to say that for some reason. I'm Jatt, and anyways, yeah, you should be proud of where you come from, and not that it means anything. I'm not this is superficial, right? This is all superficial. You gotta remember that. And anyways, the whole point of I like the point of the festival is that back in the day when hundreds of years ago, when a woman got married, she left her house, and it's she left her home, and she was married off, and went and lived with the man, went to her new village, and she pretty much never saw her family again. And I think one of the points of Rakhi is that you got together, and that was the time it was pretty much an excuse for the girl to visit her family and all her friends, have a festivity out of it, because that's essentially what it is. You go over and you pick a mutual meeting spot, and you get to most of the family gets together, and it's just it's kind of you talk it out, and you talk about and shoot the stuff, and you just bond a little bit. And I like that part. I totally agree with that part. It's really that part's awesome about it. And I just that's my take on how it evolved. And also, there's probably another thing, because in early cultures, even now, the women in our family are heavily guarded. Well, I'd say it's a little bit more lax now, but uh, it was the role of the man to guard his sister and his cousin, who was actually pretty much just his sister, or his really good friends that are women. It's just it was like, it was the right thing to do, and that makes sense. And that's kind of like a token of thank you. And like in the olden day, back in the day, the woman would probably make the bracelet as opposed to buying it. So that meant something more. People were poor, and the male, the brother, would return a token of like a small amount of money maybe, or a gift of some sort, to show, hey, you know what, I'm there for you, and I got you, and like, you know what I mean? It's just, oh, what's that? Oh, it's a cat. Anyways, yeah, so that's like, I don't know, those are the roots of this shit. But I think people take it out of hand. I mean, we don't really mind it too much. We keep it pretty low key, and we keep it like. But I made it a point to tell all my sisters that I want my Rakhi made. I want it, like, if you're gonna participate. To me, I mean, I don't have a problem with evolving traditions or making up new ones, but I feel that if I'm gonna celebrate this, I want it to be as uncommercial and non-consumer as possible. Yeah, so I don't know. That's my take on it. I'd rather be non-consumer, and I'd rather have them make it at home, and I'd probably, return a token of some sort, like, rather than money I would give. Actually, money's alright. Money works. I mean, it's not that bad, right? But I would probably give something useful. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. Actually, what I like to do is I like to do people a favor of aligning their spine. So, if you're aware of the Heimlich maneuver version, it's not really a Heimlich maneuver. It's more of a, like, it's a Heimlich maneuver, but in the thoracic region of your spine rather than the tummy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your belly button is, that's where you would perform the Heimlich maneuver if somebody is choking. But to relieve this tension, you get the person to cross their arms across their chest like a pharaoh, and then you put your hands in front of those arms and use the person in front of you, the person you're performing on, their arms become a brace, and you're putting pressure onto that and doing like a Heimlich maneuver type thing, and uh, putting a ton of pressure while the person inhales sharply and flexes their muscles. And what that does is it compresses the spine, and you then extend your spine thoracically and kind of align their spine to yours. And then I'm pretty sure I've explained this. And then sometimes you get some synovial fluid cracking out, and it just feels very good, and it's a cool, I don't know, it's a good sensation. Some people love it. Those who love it a lot, and other people just aren't amused by it, and they don't like it, and it makes them feel uncomfortable. That's neither here nor there. But to me, I think that's one of the greatest things in the world. So, as a favor, I'll offer it to people. I mean, if they're comfortable with me doing it, I don't care, because I'm comfortable doing it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I started talking about that, but I like to do that. And I don't know, it's kind of like giving somebody a back rub. I mean, I don't do it to receive a back rub in turn, but I know that back rubs feel fucking awesome, so why wouldn't you give them out? I mean, I don't know, it's just my version of a selfless act, if you will. I mean, it's small, and it's like, it's selfless, that's all it is. It's just a selfless act, and hopefully the person tension is relieved, and hopefully the person feels as good as I do when I receive them, and it's all good. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, so I don't know, that's my take on the Rakhi, and I found it curious that it fell on the full moon, and which, like, a lot of these a lot of our a lot of festivals in most religions, well, in a lot of, not even religions, in cultures and like different ways of life, a lot of them happen to fall on full moons, and it's a lot to do with the patterns of the harvest and all that. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, summer just ended, this is end of harvest, So everybody's like feeling good right now, and then now rough times are gonna start because winter's starting. So people are kind of like, it's a token. It's like, oh look, and I've noticed that it usually stays on for about 2 to 3 months, and then it falls off. So, and of course these ones in the past were probably made of much better material, and like you know, and they were like handcrafted. They were actually crafted at home, and they probably stayed on a little bit better. And like I don't know, I think it was like a little, it was kind of like a, it had something to do with it being winter and rough times coming, and because in old times when they didn't have heat and they had to rely on the harvest that they got during the summer, it's it's a harvest festival, and it makes sense. Like you honor the people who, and that makes sense too. So the men were probably the ones harvesting, doing all the most of the harvest, and then it's like a little token, like, oh, good job harvesting and breaking your back, and that kind of deal. So I mean, it makes sense, right? But it's just gotten really consumer based lately. Like, I don't know, like some people give like like, I don't know, $100. I don't know. That seems like that's not even a lot. It's not that it's a lot of money. It's just like, why the fuck does somebody need $100? Like nowadays, why do you need, like, like why does a, I don't know. Let's use an example. Let's say my 8-year-old cousin ties a Rakhi on me, and then like I wouldn't give fucking $100. Like I give my little cousin $20. $20 seems reasonable, and it's like whatever. It's like, hey, here you go. I mean, maybe if I was loaded, I'd give a little bit more. Like, but there's people making it into this huge, and even that, like, even if I was loaded, like, I don't know. I just don't like think that in this day and age, like, you can keep the tradition, but let's keep it to like, let's not lose sight of what we're actually doing here. So, I feel really bad for like, his limp is actually like, is very noticeable to me now. His limp is very noticeable now, and I can't help but feel bad. I mean, I would hate to have, like, I'm always complaining about having physiological issues and all that. I mean, how would I feel if one of my legs, well, actually, one of my legs is shorter than the other by a little bit, but how would I feel if I was limping? Actually, the leg being shorter than the other, it might be genetic because a cousin of mine has that a slight bit, but another thing is, if you ever, when I used to walk home from school, I would zone out, and the portion of the sidewalk where the sidewalk meets the road, I would put one foot up on that, and then one foot on the lower one, and then I would kind of like have, like, I don't know, it was just weird, and that might have been like, maybe I'm pretty sure I probably, judging from the way that my right leg is slightly shorter, I might have been putting my right leg up on the ledge and then stretching my left leg, and then the right leg never got the stretch that was enjoyed by the left. And I don't know, that's just my take on it. I love watching the moon. The moon and the stars are just, I don't know, it's so soothing and calming. And, oh man. And yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I actually quite enjoyed. This is one of the festivals that, one of the like few things I take part in, like culturally, and I it's kind of cool. Like I think festivals like that are pretty cool. I mean, Christmas, as much as I hate Christmas, I fucking, like, it's so consumer based, and like, but you know what? If you're celebrating, I'm putting that in quotes, Christmas by like meeting up with your family and just, I don't know, having dinner and talking about like cool stuff, and then that's, by all means, that's cool. I mean, I see that. That's awesome. Uh, I'm about to run out of film here, so, well, not film, but yeah. I'll see you in part 2.